Hello, my name is Tomasz Bevik. I'm a member of Team Peach, and we have a dream. Our dream is online speed dating for employment. As you can imagine, the employment process has a lot of friction, as you all probably know. For example, what happens traditionally? You send out a call for resumes, and then resumes come flooding in. Then what happens? Immediately you start wasting your valuable time. You have to read every single resume, that's 3 to 5 minutes per resume, then you make your first selection, and what happens then? You waste more of your valuable time, therefore money. You have to go, you have to call each person up, the process is somewhat chaotic, and then the process only gets more chaotic when you have to bring people in to see them. And what happens at that point? At that point you've already wasted so much of your valuable time and money, and the person walks through the door. And only at that point are you able to bring in the gut feeling, the sixth sense for people that you've honed as managers. Only then are you able to get that first impression of them. You know, and all the effort that you put in, all the time you put in, could be wasted. And you're totally out of control of that process. So how does Team Peach propose to solve that? Well, in 2 ways. We propose to automate out everything that's non-essential, and we propose to invert the timing of the impressions. So you get your first impression at the beginning. So how does this look in practice? In practice, it looks like this. You come to the web app we developed, and you write in your job requirements with a deadline. And then people who are interested in your job make short 1-minute videos of themselves, pitches to you. They make 1-minute pitches, and then when the deadline runs up, you come and you fly through those pitches, you make your selections directly in our app, directly as they go, your impressions. Then automatically, all the people who are selected are informed of a speed dating employment event to be held in the future. And so at the time of your choosing, you sit down in front of the computer, everybody has already collected, and the interviews start going. 5-minute interviews to confirm that first impression, and further make selections. You can also go with the same platform on to do further interviews, but our chief value comes in that beginning selection process, when there's many people and you have to cut and you have to select them down quickly. So we offer you control, saving money, and saving time. That's what we do. This is an example of, this is our design mock-up. So for example, our website would look like this. We would have ratings, the interviews would come up and go forward and forward like that. So we have built a prototype of our core technology on the Amazon cloud and with a WebRTC. Yeah, we are Team Peach. We put you back in control. We save you time and money. Thank you. Questions, please.
Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Really good speaker. Who's gonna pay in this game?
8% of the first 3 paychecks.
What that means?
By the employer. That means 8% of the first 3 paychecks.
Employer, employee, or
yeah.
Okay.
Well, the way we envision it is going to be 8% of their salary. They're going to know that up front.
Okay.
So you'll negotiate a salary with them as you would normally, but in the beginning they will agree, through their contract for the first 3 months to give 8% to our company.
Okay.
You already have similar services. Did you do any research?
Yes, so we have competitors of many sizes and shapes at all levels of what we do. But there's one competitor especially that does almost exactly this. It's called InterviewStream. It's an American company, about 10 years old, 20 million in revenues, US. And they offer pretty much this exact same service, but they're focused on the American market, big companies, Fortune 500 companies, and they're sort of closed and are more focused on serving the company exclusively, whereas our web platform allows the employees to also come in, the job seekers to also come in and make their profile. So yeah, they would be our main competition. But then of course, at many levels of the process, you have huge companies like Adecco who are also then competing for the same business. Yes, so we have to compete with them.
As an employer, I usually get a CV with projects they worked on previously, jobs they worked at, and education, and then filter out through that and go to the interviews in person. Why would I want this video or visual conversation first and make my first impressions on that instead of their work? Because I mean, to me, it seems more meritocratic the first way.
Yeah, that's true, and some people will think that way, but many managers, they really trust that first impression that they get of a person. You know, I mean, we've heard it over and over, you know, and I've seen it in practice many times, you know. It's really that first impression that decides it for them. And the other thing is, you know, even with the resume, you know, yes, it's meritocratic, but we also know that in this day and age, people are really pumping up their resumes a lot. And it's more difficult to pump up your personal style. It's still possible. And you know, you can't eliminate that problem of people essentially, you know, making themselves up. But we think that this will save you time versus the resumes. So if you were if you were the type of manager, I mean, if you're not, it probably won't help you, but if you're the type of manager who is looking for that, then it's going to save you a lot of process by applying this inversion, by doing it first.
Have you tested this assumption? How much of testing have you done?
Well, you know, in one weekend, we haven't done very
Okay,
much
so
testing.
it's
Yes.
something that has come up.
Yeah, so for example, many of us have been involved, I mean, all of us have been involved in the hiring process at some level, both as people who are taking part in the hiring process and people getting hired. So it's basically from our personal experiences that we felt this service could be of use.
You said there's something similar in US
Yes.
already existing. Why somebody would choose your product instead of the product that is already on the market?
Well, their product is really geared toward big companies, big corporations with a process. Whereas we would try to focus, first of all, we would try to focus on the UK market, is what we were thinking for the first thing, you know, so we would be more Europe focused. So we would be more focused on the Europe market, and we would try to differentiate ourselves by being more open than that company, and also by going more toward the mid-sized companies, maybe people who don't have such an HR process, or maybe only have managers who are managing the hiring themselves, like they often do at smaller and mid-sized companies. Thank you for your attention.